Global Banking and Finance Awards highlight the innovation, achievement, strategy, progressive and inspirational changes taking place within the global financial community. The awards were created to recognize companies of all sizes who've excelled in particular areas of expertise and excellence within the global financial community. Today, we're pleased to offer 3 awards to banking technology giant Diebold Nixdorf. Today, there's a greater need for speed to market, but with satisfaction for a personalized approach. Customers require state-of-the-art service that's more personalized, more accessible, more secure. It should be more convenient, more flexible, and more consistent across all channels. Diebold Nixdorf aims to provide a reliable service under a large number of headings, giving a more personalized experience and offering focused preferences. As technology becomes ever more sophisticated, DN continues to develop a more streamlined and efficient service to meet the demands of banking at all levels. Global Banking offers 3 awards. Excellence in Innovation Banking Technology Solutions Provider Europe 2025, Best ATM Services Europe 2025, and Best Banking Technology Solutions Provider Europe 2025. We were glad to welcome to our London studios Helena Müller, Vice President of Banking in Europe, to receive the awards and to tell us more about the success of Diebold Nixdorf.
Thank you so much. We are delighted to receive this award and feel very honored. So thank you from Diebold Nixdorf.
Excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit about the work you're currently involved with and what's going on in the financial world at the moment. One of the questions perhaps would be the demand for cash services, whether that is changing across Europe. I believe it may be. How do you see this evolution and change?
So it's a very interesting evolution going on at the moment. So we see that even the Federal Reserve and also ECB, they see that the cash volumes are increasing. But I would say that the cash and the demand for cash services is still very strong and in an evolution journey.
A lot of people will think that perhaps cash is fading out in preference for the credit card or the debit card, but that's not necessarily the case then.
No, I think especially in our industry, you see a lot of articles, a lot of debates around how is cash evolving and the demand for cash services. But with the current situation also in Europe and also a lot of topics around resiliency, I think the uses of cash will stay and the demand is still very strong.
Well, whatever is chosen, one always has to look at user satisfaction for the customers and clients. How would you say financial institutions are redefining that, user satisfaction and what it looks like, and how is Diebold Nixdorf actually helping banks meet those rising expectations that many have?
So if I go to the first part, user satisfaction, I think it's very important to make the usage of cash available so that you can get cash and also pay with cash. So how we then, Diebold Nixdorf, are supporting financial institutions is to make sure we have innovative technology and solution and service to make the end users satisfied with the service. I think that is really important.
I know there's a great challenge for people to actually reduce operational costs in various organisations across Europe, but at the same time maintaining service quality. How do you see managed services contributing indeed to day-to-day financial activity, and how can Diebold Nixdorf help?
So when it comes to managed services around cash services, it is very predictable from the financial institution. When they go for a managed service, they know what they get. So they can predict the cost of the service of cash. Also, it assures compliance and also the efficiency can be very well calculated. So I think that is an advantage. And also you can focus on something else. Mm-hmm. So it can make a difference for a financial institution to really focus on maybe what is important in their organization. That is the advantage, I would say.
Of course, automation is a massive thing now. Digital adoption gets bigger and bigger all the time. What role do you actually see physical branches of banks and so on playing in the future of banking itself?
So that is also one of the topics that comes along with cash services and branches. What role does a branch play in the future? I think that from our side we see that we need to assure that the service that has traditionally been in a branch can be also served through our technology. So that is where we invest a lot to make sure that the end user gets the same service in the branch through, around the cash service, but through an automated service through our technology.
Data-driven operations, we must talk about AI. It's one of those things that seems to come up all the time. They are, of course, becoming essential. How are banks using real-time analytics and service automation to actually anticipate needs and drive better performance? And how can you help as an organization?
So if I look to the financial institutions, for sure, everything gets more and more data-driven, and also to see how are the behaviors from the end users, following the flow, and also to assure that they get the service that they are really asking for. So I think the data around the end users is really important. And when it comes to the AI, for sure that will bring efficiency. So to include the AI into services where it makes sense, you get out the value, and that is where I think the financial institutions, they need to look into their operations. When it comes to Diebold Nixdorf, we do include that also in our operation to make sure that we can analyze a lot of data when it comes around the cash service and also security. So I think we are assuring that AI will bring more efficiency also in our equipment. I think that is really important in our service to assure that you bring value from that.
Of course, all the investment in technology, such as you are describing, does actually lead us then to the environmental issues. What can vendors like Diebold Nixdorf do to actually help with that transition?
So, looking to our recently also published ESG report, Diebold Nixdorf is very keen on making sure that we're following the demand for delivering a sustainable solution. So I think not only from the supply chain and production sides, technology, parts, that part, but it's also important to make sure that we avoid in the service delivery, that we can solve as many problems as possible remotely. That is one of the parts to just make sure that we can keep the equipment up and running and the service up and running smoothly.
I think all those things that we have discussed, they all do cost more money for the supplier and so on. Naturally, there are various regulations across Europe. One country is different from another, but obviously all that has to be observed and made successful. Is this an expensive innovation and customer experience? I mean, does it actually do that? Does it actually damage the innovation that branches, for instance, wish to introduce?
No, but I think that the more we can assure that we have everything up and running 24/7, then the benefits will come in return for the financial institution and also for ourselves.
Well, at the time of this recording, we're looking ahead to Christmas and 2026 afterwards, of course. How do you actually see and how do you believe that things will develop and the most significant changes that will occur in the forthcoming year?
I think that the demand for cash services will continue to evolve. We will have local demands. So looking only into Europe, every market have their specifics, but there will be a global trend around this that will continue to evolve. I see that the demand for managed services and predictability will become even more important. It's all about efficiency, but balanced with experience. So that is where we need to make sure that we deliver together a sustainable service for a market that we can continue to pay, even though we have an interruption we might have interruptions.
But hopefully it will be a positive success in the year to come. In the meantime, congratulations on the award from Global Banking, and thank you for coming to talk to us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.